What can I tell you about Steve Maxwell? Well, besides being an American fitness guru, author, physical educator, breathing coach, and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, he's also one of my most favorite guys in the whole world. For 65 years of age, he has a twinkle in his eye like a 25-year-old. And that's because Steve travels the world teaching. Teaching people how to move, how to breathe, and how to think. Steve travels with less than 10 kilograms on his back, only the bare essentials, and he has no home. He's a nomad. Once a year, he comes by and tapes an episode of London Real. And on the same day, I book him an appointment for 1 year in the future. We've been doing this for 3 years in a row. Except this time, Steve sent me a video and wanted to do something different.
Hi Brian, Steve Maxwell here. I'm really anxious to see you. Hey, I had a great idea for the podcast. I want to show you my hotel room workout. I am a master of the hotel room workout. Show people how they can stay in shape anywhere, anytime, on the road, on vacation, or whatever. It doesn't matter. There's no excuses. Exercise takes no vacation.
So I put my training clothes on and I'm off for a new kind of adventure with Steve Maxwell. Once upon a time, Steve had the American dream. The wife, the kids, the big house, the business. But he walked away from all of it. His martial arts pedigree is ridiculous. He wrestled in college, was a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt in the 80s. He trained with the Gracie family before the UFC was even created. Steve is a ton of fun and has amazing ideas. And that's why I always have him back on London Real. Going to train with Steve Maxwell in his hotel room. I think he's gonna beat the living crap out of me. Pretty fancy, Steve Maxwell.
Waiting for Brian Rose, London Real. Super excited. Gonna share my hotel workout secrets, how to stay fit anywhere, any place, anytime. It's an amazing thing. Brian has no idea how effective this workout is. Brian Rose! Good to see you, man. Awesome to see you, man.
Great seeing you too.
Great seeing you, man. Wow, you're in your workout kit ready to go.
What am I doing here? I'm supposed to be in a three-piece suit, sitting in the leather chairs, having a conversation with you at London Real Studios. But you tell me to come here to your hotel room. What's going on?
Well, I want to share with you my workout secrets.
Okay.
You know, I make my living online with clients, right?
Yeah.
And many times they report to me, oh, Steve, I got off my diet. I got off my program because I was traveling. I was on holiday.
Right.
I was in business. I gained 5-6 pounds. And I say, no excuse.
No excuse.
Exercise takes no vacation. Diet takes no vacation. So a lot of people are mystified that we become so gym dependent,
right,
that we forget that, hey man, all you need is your body.
Right, right. So you want to show me how you can train in a hotel
in a little space like this.
Okay. And you're the guy that you travel the world. So you're constantly
I travel the
on
world.
the move.
Man, you wouldn't believe it. I was in China for 2 weeks, Shanghai and Beijing.
Right.
Went to Moscow, was in Moscow for about 2 weeks. Went from Moscow to, where did I go? My God, I forget sometimes. I went to Ireland,
right,
and now I'm here. I leave from here to Sarajevo in Bosnia, and then to New York. So I'm living in hotels.
Right. So you're living this reality.
And I'm living it.
Right. As opposed to some guy who's fixed in one location, who's got a gym. You're living this reality you're about to show me, right?
Exactly. Now, as a former gym owner, I have nothing against gyms.
Right.
But I tell you, most gyms I don't like. Too distracting. The music alone is enough to drive you crazy.
Yeah.
You know, you're looking at the pretty girls in the treadmill when you should be concentrating on your pull-ups or whatever. Yeah. Too easy to get distracted. The other thing too, I think, a lot of the equipment is just not well designed.
Okay.
I'd rather just use my body weight, the best equipment God could possibly give you. But I had another thing I wanted to show you too. As a man ages, you have to take more and more care of your body. You need to really, really start to do what I call health promoting activities. It's activity where you are trying to keep, you're doing anti-aging type techniques. Okay. Part of it is Qong. Part of it is the Russian Slavic health system.
You know, this is the 4th time we've had you on London Real, and the reason I always have Steve back, because first of all, he's an OG, right? Which in prison is what they call the original gangsters. I mean, look, this guy was training with the Gracies before the UFC even started. You know, black belt in Jiu-Jitsu, decorated wrestler.
When they were in the garage.
And they were in the garage. This is like in the, what, late 80s, early 90s, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, been there, done that, wrestled in the Army as well, right?
Yep.
You know, you've trained Joe Rogan, you travel the world, and so when Steve talks, I listen, first of all, and you always have these really interesting perspectives, and he's literally on the move. He travels the world with 10 kgs of stuff. We're going to get into that later, too. And every time I talk to you, I realize it's not really about fitness. It's about all aspects of your life, your biology, the mentality. So I think we're going to touch on that stuff today.
Yeah. And your health is precious. Yeah. You know, I know many people that would give up everything they own just to buy back their health. And once lost, it's really hard to gain back.
Right. So I'm all yours.
All right, man.
You know, what have you got planned for me?
Let's start with like a morning routine.
Let's start morning routine.
Yeah, okay.
I'm a big fan of sleep as well.
So I'll wake up in the morning, right? And I'll reach over, I'll get my iPhone, and I'll measure my resting pulse rate. I don't get any money for this, but this is called Insta heart rate.
Yeah, okay. Heart rate monitor. This is something I've heard people talk about.
There's probably a million of them. Okay, there's the little light. I stick my little finger on there, and then it starts to count. Okay. If it's 5 or beats more than my average, let's say my average is 46. Yeah. And I would wake up and it's like near 50, right? Or 51. Yeah. I'm not going to work out. I'm going to be active, but I'm not going to really train.
It shows that you've overtrained.
I've
probably.
Overtrained.
Yeah, okay. I've heard this. I've never used this.
The other one is the CNS tap test. Okay. And what you do is you put it down, and this is my right hand. This measures how well your nervous system has recovered. Okay.
Reaction time.
Yeah. And so here, I'll turn it this way so the camera can see. And you tap the index finger.
Oh, interesting. And you're trying to go as fast as you can?
As fast as you can.
Okay. Man. And how long's the timing you for? 10 seconds?
And then I can save. All right. And then you do the left hand. I might as well just do both.
Okay.
Yeah, because it does differ. So my left is a little bit better because I got a little arthritis in the right. So what this is doing is measuring, all right, and save, and then I can go and I can look at the little chart, grab both hands.
You do this every morning, so you're tracking.
Yeah, so I'm tracking.
Change.
Okay, there's the graph. So I'm down just a little. I've been a little tired, but you can see like when I'm not recovered as opposed to when I am recovered.
Okay. All right, so those two will tell you if you're recovered. Well, what about the old adage of just train anyways, tough it out?
Well, that's a good way to get overtrained or start to burn yourself out or get injured. Now, when I say not training, I'm still doing something. Okay. I'm going to go out and I'm going to walk. I'll do breathing. I'll do joint mobility. I'm just not training hard.
Okay. Do you call that active rest? A lot of MMA fighters call it that.
Yeah, I call it like active recovery or some people call it non-exercise activity. Okay. Because I don't count anything as exercise except for strength training. Okay. That's the only true exercise. Okay. Running is an activity. Okay. Jiu-Jitsu? You get so it's an activity. It's a sport. It's fun. It's a hobby, but it's not exercise. Okay. You get exercise benefit, but it doesn't constitute the 5-point definition of exercise. Okay, interesting. So for me, it tells me should I do any strength training or shouldn't I do strength training? Okay. And if I do non-exercise activity, how strenuous should I go? All right. So first thing I do is a vigorous head massage. And you just very vigorously massage the scalp and the head, and you try to move the scalp This keeps the oil flowing and keeps the hair really nice and lustrous. Of course, I cut my hair very short.
But you have hair still.
Yeah, oh yeah, I have plenty.
And I do too.
And I could grow it longer.
No surgeries yet.
But it's just easier to travel with.
And so is this for hair loss, or is this for, what is this for?
For everything.
Everything.
Just to keep the hair lustrous and nice.
Okay.
Know?
And keep it there as well?
And keep it there as well.
Okay.
And also notice how awake you feel.
I feel better already.
Yeah, it's just a way to kind of waken up the body. Right? And then right here above the eyes is a little hole. You can feel the depression. Do you feel that?
Above the eye.
Yeah, this is Qong.
Here? Oh, okay.
Qong is it's a stimulation point for eyes.
And you just push.
And then take your knuckle and then trace the eyebrow out and back and then under and back in 8 times. I used to wear glasses and I was so nearsighted, if I was looking at your cameraman, I wouldn't even, his face would be a blur.
Okay.
And every year I was getting thicker and thicker lens, heavier prescription. I was thinking, Jesus Christ, I'm going to go blind.
Right.
So I picked up this book called Take Off Your Glasses and See. I literally took the glasses and threw them in the trash as the book said, just get them off. The glasses were becoming a crutch. Yeah, and man, my eyes improved a lot. Okay. Now, I'm still a little nearsighted, but man, I'm telling you, I can drive.
That's wild.
Without glasses. I could never do that before.
Okay.
So that was the little eye thing. Then I do some eye yoga.
Okay.
And you look up through the eyebrows and down, and you go 10 times up and down. Yeah, so you're looking up through your eyebrows, and then you look down.
Okay, you're not moving your head.
No.
Okay.
The tendency is you want to move your head.
Right. 3.
And what you're doing is you're working on those eyeball muscles, right? You got muscles in your eyes that become shortened and weak. And then you go side to side. You look side to side. And I just do an arbitrary 10.
Okay.
Sometimes I go more. And then you do clockwise circles.
Okay, clockwise.
So this is something no one ever thinks about, right? Working the eyeballs.
Never.
But I'll tell you, they're muscles like anything else.
Yeah.
And then you reverse. And like I say, I do 10. And I go nice and slow, and it's like doing joint mobility for the eyes.
Okay.
And then you can hold like a writing, like something, okay, whole food napkin, right? With made with recycled, and then I'll hold, and then I'll bring this slowly to the eye and keep it in focus. I force it to stay in focus.
Okay, so okay, gotcha.
And I'll even go smaller print than this. So all it is just some little print, you know.
So you train.
Not the average Whole Foods, but.
Yeah. So you're training your eye to So
I stay focused. I force it to stay focused. I force it to stay focused. Okay.
Yeah. Now my eye doctor says, this is what he said, that the lens in your eye is like your fingernails in your hair, and it's constantly growing. And as you get to the 40s, they can no longer push that thing, and your muscles are weak. That's what he says.
Well, read the book, Take Off.
I will.
The guy was also an eye doctor who used to routinely perform eye surgeries and says, everything I learned in medical school is nonsense.
And the more I watch these guys, it's a racket. You can spend a lot of money in the whole eyeglass industry. And I came back a year later, and he's like, yep, you need a whole new prescription. And I was like, really? How much is that going to cost me? And I was like, man, you know, and so let me see. So I'm basically forcing my eyes.
Read the book first.
Okay, forcing my eyes. It's
Just
getting harder, harder.
And get it right to the point where it goes out of focus, but don't go. Yeah.
So I'm forcing my eyes to stay focused.
And I would recommend even something smaller print than that, where you're really forced to focus.
Well, you know, I've noticed it in the last few years that I have glasses, and I use them kind of at night with the computer. And so it'd be nice to.
Well, I'm on the iPad quite a few hours myself. So next
you don't have glasses anymore.
No.
Wow. Okay. This is some Chinese stuff. This is like some Mr. Miyagi stuff.
Serious Mr. Miyagi.
Okay.
The healing energy.
Yeah. I saw this in Karate Kid before.
Look, I didn't invent any of this stuff. Okay, the skeptics out there like said, oh, where's the double-blind studies? You ain't going to see any, because who's going to pay for a study like that? It's going to put all the optometrists out of business. All I know is what worked for me. All right, now you palm the eyes. This is what you do when you're working like on the computer for hours. You just need to just kind of rest the eyes and energize them a little bit. I'm telling you right now, I went from thick Coke bottle lenses to not needing any glasses at all.
You know, it's weird, Steve, because we grew up in America and it's very westernized and we're taught that all these things work this way. And when you start getting exposed to some of these quote unquote Eastern ideas, your initial reaction is to reject them.
Yeah,
right?
Of course.
Right?
It's, you know, I mean, it's natural.
And violently reject them.
Violently,
almost.
like, oh, no, that couldn't be, you know, they're. But I'm telling you, I've always had an open mind. I thought, well, what the hell? It takes just a couple minutes to do this thing. What if it does work?
Right.
And after reading the book, I became a real believer.
Interesting. And I've found that the more I open myself up to things like meditation and, you know, visualization and even the stuff that Mantak was talking about, like I went into that episode thinking, there's no way I want to talk about massaging my organs or my sexual organs or anything. But the more I look into this, there's stuff there. There's
I'm
things
telling you,
there.
man, I've talked to many, many elderly Chinese guys. You know, I met this guy that was damn near 90 years old. This guy moved like a kid, you know?
Okay.
It was like, wow.
Right. What are you
This
doing?
dude was like,
Doing something.
he's doing something right.
Right. And it's almost like Americans, and I love America. I don't live there anymore. You live around the world. It's almost like America is going the opposite direction. More lethargic, worse diet, bad mentality, on their phones.
America's now the fattest nation on earth, man.
Well, the more I speak with people like you and everybody else who comes through the show, the more I am thinking that this is the way forward and not this other way of thinking. You know?
And it takes time, and it takes dedication. Right. You can't be a lazy ass and expect your health to be good. You got to really take, you know.
Right. So do this type of morning routine.
You got to take responsibility. It doesn't have to exactly be this. I'm only sharing what I do, what works for me. But everything I'm showing, I didn't invent. I learned it from some dude that was like, you know, 80s, 90s. So,
yeah.
Okay, hearing.
Okay,
right?
Hearing. Yeah. So we did the
hearing
eyes.
loss is
okay.
really big in my family. First, you start with the lobes, and you just kind of gently.
By the way, I want you to take a look at Steve's ears. This comes from wrestling.
This is
Dedicated.
NCAA wrestling.
If you ever see a guy walking down the street with cauliflower ears, be nice to him. Because he's probably put in more mat time than you have put in, say, a college education.
In some countries, there's a badge of courage.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, you start here and pull,
ears.
and then you start to massage the ear, all on the outside. You know, you've heard of foot reflexology?
Yeah.
Well, you have ear reflexology too. All the pressure points to every organ in the body. And so you get good vigorous massage.
Okay. Yeah, you think that
and then these two bones back here behind.
Yeah, okay.
Right? You massage vigorously with the thumbs.
Okay.
And then the next step is you cover the ear and form like a seal, and you use index fingers and you drum right here on this bone. And it should sound like a boom, boom, boom.
Like this?
Yeah, so watch me first.
Okay.
It's called Drums of Heaven.
Drums of Heaven.
Drums of Heaven.
Okay, so 36 of those. All right, so that's the ears and
now
the eyes.
digestion.
Okay.
All right, so you're going to click your teeth 36 times. All right, there was 36 for me. Now notice, keep the saliva in the mouth.
Okay.
It's almost like you're stimulating saliva for. This is called juice of jade, and it was the Taoists are very much into saliva as being very good for digestion, like an elixir. Now you're going to take your tongue, and you make it very tired and fatigued. You're going to trace the outside of your teeth 36 times clockwise and counterclockwise, and keep the saliva in there. Don't swallow. Then the opposite way.
Hard.
Hard, huh? You're burning. Yeah, because the tongue is wet.
You could spend a whole day doing this routine.
Now, place the tongue, keep the saliva in them behind the front teeth, and swallow with the tongue pushed against it and make noise. Until all the saliva is gone. And the Taoist masters believe this is incredibly good for the digestion process, because digestion starts in the mouth.
Yeah.
Also, is really good gum stimulation.
Okay.
The saliva is very alkalizing, you know, for an acidic mouth and things like that.
Okay.
That's another reason why it's really, really important to breathe through the nose and not through the mouth.
Okay.
You really help dental health quite a bit by mouth breathing.
Okay.
All right, now your nose is a little stuffy, right?
Yeah.
So now you're going to exhale, a normal exhale, and then hold the breath while pinching the nose and covering the mouth. And then when you feel a strong urge to breathe, inhale through the nose again.
Okay.
Nice, huh? You just go to the point where you feel like you want to breathe. It doesn't have to be real long.
Okay.
And notice how it opened up.
So it opened up because I had exhaled through it, and then I had held.
It opens up because you're producing nitric oxide. In the linings of the nasal passages, you produce NO, which really helps open up all your blood vessels in your whole body.
And why did it produce it then, just there?
Well, it just stimulates the production of the NO. It's always there. That's why you always want to breathe through your nose, because you miss the benefits of nitric oxide when you inhale through the mouth.
Okay. Okay.
And nitric oxide opens the blood vessels, dilates, and helps blood flow. So, and also sometimes, like if it's still clogged, I'll do the old yoga.
Oh, one side, the other.
And then reverse. Or one side. And I'll force it. I'll just keep breathing until it opens.
And what's the point of that single nasal breathing?
You're just opening up one blocked side.
Okay.
You know, the idea is just to unblock it.
Okay.
So I do realize that a lot of the listeners, they're busy family guys, careers, you know. So I place a big premium on my health because I'm a health and fitness lecturer. And also, I work for myself. I have a lot of time. Right. You know, I don't go to a 9-to-5 job, so I do understand. But if you just did just this eye, ear thing maintenance, you would go a long way to improving your basic health.
Okay.
The other thing I'll do then is a thyroid massage.
Okay.
I'll take and hold my hand behind my neck here, tilt my head, and I hold the larynx, and I'll massage 36 times. 10. Other side.
And that's what the thyroid is, isn't it?
Yeah, thyroid gland.
There's a lot of this massaging of the organs that is an Eastern thing, huh?
Yeah, very Eastern. You see people walking down the street with little slappers tapping and all that.
Right, okay.
And then I tap. And then stick your tongue out and cross your eyes. It's called Hungry Lion. It's a yoga technique, but it's also Taoist yoga and Qigong. You see it in all the Asian.
Okay, Hungry Lion, and close your eyes.
Looks pretty weird. Kind of looks like a Maori tribal, right? When the Maoris are doing the war dance.
The haka. And what's this doing?
Also stimulating digestion and working the thyroid, notice the blood. A great way to get rid of sore throat. If you start to get a little sore throat sometimes.
Right.
You know? So it's all helping the immune system.
Okay.
You know? And there's many other tapping drills. I'm not going to get into the whole thing.
Okay, but this is a good basic routine.
But this is a good basic routine to do.
Takes about 10 minutes.
And then when I'm in bed, I'll massage the upper abdomen clockwise and then cross counterclockwise either side of the belly button and then push down. And then without getting too graphic,
maybe we should just talk about it.
Yeah, you know, you massage the penis between your hands 50 times.
50 times.
50.
Okay.
And then you take the spermatocords on either side of the base of the penis and you rub back and forth.
Okay.
You'll feel these two cords, they're like little tubes. And then you shove the balls over to one side and hold with the penis. And then you rub 36 and then both balls 36.
Okay.
Right? Then you take each testicle and twist 50 times.
Okay.
And then you cup the testicles with the penis sticking through.
Right.
36-time lower abdomen.
Okay.
And then switch 36-time counterclockwise.
Okay.
All right. And then you breathe. By the way, when you're doing this is called the deer exercise.
Yeah.
You're pulling up in the muscles of the base of the pelvis, the muscles that would prevent urine flow,
Right.
or prevent
PC
going to the toilet, pubicoccus.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you lie, and then you image from the perineum energy going up the spine,
Okay.
into the top of the head, down to the front and back.
Okay.
Young men are always, losing their vital energy,
Yes.
putting it out. So you're learning to seal that energy in.
Okay.
And it's interesting, the Taoists actually have an ejaculation chart.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I read about this.
Yeah.
So after,
so guys my age, a healthy guy,
every 4 weeks, right?
A healthy guy, about
Right.
every 10 days.
Oh, every 10
my
days,
age,
right.
yeah.
And for people that don't understand how your essence could be there, I mean, what do you say to that?
You know what? It's not for you. If you don't get it, you don't get it. I'm not trying to convince anyone. I'm just sharing with people.
Yeah.
I think I'm moving pretty goddamn good for a
You are.
65-year-old. I'm certainly no prude. I've certainly had my share of sex in my day.
Right.
So I'm not anti-sexual. I'm just saying that as you get older, you need to preserve your youth and your vitality. You just can't be, going out and spilling it.
Yeah.
And all these things, the only investment really is just a time commitment.
Yeah.
Which I have. Maybe you don't. But you just have to look at, what your priorities are in life. For me, at my age now, the health is a priority because you can start to feel things starting to slip away,
Yeah.
And of course, we're all going to die.
Yeah.
But I would like to be able to go into that death gracefully, without suffering, without spending 10, 20 years on a walker or a wheelchair, and just dying a very slow pain. I'd like to be able to go like Jack Hillaire, like Elliot Gracie.
Right to the end.
You just go, and just one day you just don't get up.
Right, but you're active until then. And I would argue that people do have the time. And when people tell me, oh, I'm too busy to meditate, I'm like, you don't have 20 minutes in the morning or the night in your bed where you can sit up and do it. And for these things, where you've got time to check your iPhone, you got time to be on Facebook, but you don't have time to like massage your vital organs,
I just talked to a young girl in China, right? And she was telling me that she's so addicted to her iPhone that she is ashamed of the time she spends on social media, and she's, because I was telling her she needs to get a morning routine. She says, follow what your people have done for countless centuries. Right. And besides, what guy doesn't like to play with his balls and his? Right? It's the original, the original PlayStation, the original joystick.
Yeah, but you can't take it as far as you want to, right? It's just about massaging.
No.
Right?
It's just about keeping the organs healthy.
Okay. All right. So that's a good breakdown of all these different massage techniques.
We'll see if it works. You might think I'm crazy, but I'm telling you, I've seen guys a lot older than me that are just unbelievably spry and fit. I think I'm going to stick with the advice from these older, venerable gentlemen.
Yeah.
Because I see what's going on with them.
Yeah.
Are they an anomaly? Are they maybe a freak? Maybe. But I've just seen too many to not believe it. All right, so that's the general routine. I actually do that in bed.
In bed, all that stuff before that in bed. So all the massaging, all of this, all of that in bed.
And even though it took a long time to videotape because we're talking and explaining it, I can get through that thing pretty quick, like 15, 20 minutes maybe.
Okay, all right, and it's every day.
Every single day.
And if you skip it, you start to probably feel it, or you just don't anymore.
I just don't. It's just not worth skipping.
Yeah.
Actually, I woke up really late and had a flight. I skipped it. But then I was on the plane doing my eyes,
Right. Just
obviously not massaging my balls.
Right.
But, I was able to do the teeth clicking, the tongue on this early flight. Okay. So a lot of the stuff you can do incognito. People don't even know what you're doing.
Yeah.
They even know. All right, now.
Okay, good. What's next?
Next is I'm going to show you the continuation, stuff that you would do in the bathroom.
Okay.
All right? So we'll adjourn in here.
Yeah, okay. All right, you got a few devices here.
Yeah, this is a tongue scraper. It's Ayurveda.
Tongue scraper.
Yeah,
okay.
You wouldn't believe the waste products that build up in the tongue overnight.
Okay.
And you just basically stick the tongue out and scrape, and of course rinse. Right now the tongue's pretty clean.
Okay.
But you wouldn't believe the mucus and all the waste stuff that you pull off. And there's a lot of capillaries in the tongue, so you absorb that stuff. If you get up and just start drinking your coffee or run downstairs and eat right away, you want to get rid of that out of the...
Okay, so just one or two scrapes?
Yeah, 1 or 2 scrapes.
Okay.
And then I travel with, I use a baking soda toothpaste. These are little pellets. There's many different toothpastes, but I'll just take one of these little pellets, stick it in my mouth and chew it up.
And that's baking soda?
Yeah, it's baking soda.
Okay.
It's a little baking soda. And then I use a little sonic toothbrush. You can hear it.
Those are nice.
And boy, it's really good for getting the plaque. But I like it because it's so small.
Yeah, that's tiny. 2
speeds, really massage the gums and the teeth.
Okay.
And
no fluorides or other...
No, just natural baking soda.
Okay.
And then the next is the neti pot. And kind of phallic looking.
You got some crazy devices. I've seen this before.
And you fill this with warm water.
Right.
Up to the second one. And how do you know it's warm? You take and put on your forearm, so it's not too hot. You can, and then you take a spoonful of sea salt, which I get from Whole Foods, and you just mix it in there.
Right.
And then you take one end and pour it literally through one nostril. And then you see there's like the halfway point right there.
Right.
And then you do the other side.
And so it goes up one nostril, up into the nasal cavity, and then comes out the other nostril.
And then comes out the other. And then you go. So it's really good for opening up the nose, helping you breathe a little bit better, washes away any debris. If you are starting to get like a little head cold, a little sinus infection, the warm saline solution is very gentle. Sounds horrible, right?
Yeah, no.
Like the only experience I ever had of getting water in my nose was when I was a kid swimming, and that was incredibly painful and uncomfortable. Yeah. So when someone first told me about this, I said, "Are you crazy?" And then I tried it. I said, "Wow, this is really nice."
Yeah, I've tried it. It's really nice and gentle, and it's warm, and it can really, it can really cut back on those cold symptoms. Right?
It really can. You can do this a couple times during cold flu season, and it's a preventative. So really, really good.
Okay, that's every morning.
Yeah, every morning. And then I will, while the water is in the head, sometimes it gets trapped. I have a little scalp massager, and I'll just bend over the sink and just really give my head a really good going over.
Similar to what you were doing in the morning with your own hands.
But when you massage the head vigorously, sometimes trapped water in the sinuses from the neti pot will run out. Really? And I'll usually do it over the bathtub and just get my head way down, and then any extra water will run out.
Okay.
And then the last phase of the oral stuff is, this is coconut oil with fennel. I'll take a mouthful and I'll oil, it's called oil pulling. You swish the oil from side to side.
Okay.
Great for oral health. Many of my clients, as you know, I do online personal training and health promotions with people. They just had tremendous results. I've had some people doing this for a number of years. They said their oral health and their dental health has never been better. Gums, teeth, everything, just perfect working order.
Some people do this instead of brushing teeth.
Some people do. I recommend that you scrape. You still brush your teeth.
Right.
I believe you should floss.
Okay.
On a daily basis. I didn't show. I have little toothpick things that I work. I like it better than thread.
Okay.
It's a little special toothpick that
with the brushes on it.
With the little brushes.
Yeah, okay.
I brush, and then I'll oil pull for 20 minutes. Because what I can't.
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Swishing that oil all around your mouth.
I'll just walk around doing other stuff.
Okay.
While I'm oil swishing.
Right.
The next thing,
okay.
I bought you a little present, Brian.
Thank you. What do we got here?
I bought you. This is unused. I took the tags off. That's yours. Okay. It's a natural bristle brush.
Okay.
And I do skin brushing.
Okay.
And I first read about this when I was younger. It's called Swedish dry brush massage.
Okay.
A couple different variations.
All right.
One is you brush the skin dry. Because think of it this way. The integumentary system, your skin, is the largest organ in your body. Yeah. And the skin is so important. 1/3 of all waste is eliminated through sweat. It's It's a self-sealing, protective mechanism to keep bad stuff out. It's just really important to keep the skin good.
And we don't maintain.
People will slab, oils and sunscreens and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But brushing the skin. I mean, people brush their pets, right? Horses, dogs, cats. We have some hair on our body, micro, but the small circular brushes.
Okay.
Really, really important.
All right.
And it's really good for improving circulation, getting rid of lymphatic, lymph return to the body.
Okay.
Been doing this since I've been young.
Okay.
There is some people say you should be very careful with the face, but I shave like every other day or so.
Okay.
But so I will brush the face a little bit, but gently, and the neck.
Okay.
And you start with the soles of the feet.
Okay.
And then you work your way up the legs.
Are we gonna do this later?
Little circuit. Yeah, you want to do it now?
Yeah.
Let's do it, man.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, let's get some more room out here.
Yeah. Okay, come on.
We're going back
yeah.
up. I got a Speedo underneath there, so
yeah. Well, I got the boxers, so I'm good.
Yeah, we're good to go.
All right.
So, show your. I think if you only had one health promotion, let's say forget the eye massage and everything else, if you just brush the skin every day, I think it would really, really help a lot.
All right, we're gonna do some skin brushing here, folks. Real talk with Steve Maxwell.
Real talk.
Right?
It's London real. So natural bristle brush. You don't want to have harsh bristles.
Okay, natural bristles.
But it should be somewhat coarse, somewhat firm.
Okay, good.
And once again, the skin system is the biggest organ in the body, and the idea is to always go towards the heart.
Okay.
So you start with the soles of the feet.
Okay. In a circular motion, right?
Yeah, circular motions, and then you start to work towards the knees. I'll go back and hit the ankles and come back up. That's it. Little circles. And any rough spots or dry patches, you give a little extra time. Up the IT band, in through. You're working all these lymph nodes, getting the circulation back.
So it's not just about the skin.
And then, of course, normally I'd be naked, I'd do the butt, and you lift the testicles and get up underneath.
Okay.
And then you go to the other side. You do the other foot.
The bottom of the feet to start off with, yeah.
Yeah. And then you start to work
feels nice.
ankles. Yeah, it feels good. And it's vigorous. It's supposed to be vigorous.
This is nice. Okay.
And it makes the skin really lustrous and soft and smooth, and it keeps it youthful. Okay. Then we did the legs, right?
Yeah.
And the butt. Next, you start with your fingernails and your hands, and you just keep working up towards the heart, the back of the arm. And I'll do this just before getting into the shower.
Okay.
And then I'll go to the other side.
Okay.
Really work every square inch of the skin. And this is time honored. I mean, the Finns, the Swedes, the Danes, the Germans, even the Russians have their version. The Japanese with the loofahs and.
Is that what they do in the baths?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, skin, and then the neck. Once again, watch the.
Go a little easy, so you don't.
Yeah, you don't want to injure the skin.
Okay.
And the traps. I usually do my forehead.
And doing it dry, was this your idea?
No, this is the traditional Swedish way.
Dry before you go in the bath? Before
you go to the shower. Okay. Now, there's another version where you shower and then do it.
Okay.
You can scrub in the shower, but I like to do it dry and then...
Okay.
And then pecs.
Okay, yeah.
And then abdominals, working. I'll usually work down to the groin.
Okay.
Don't want to get too graphic for the audience. This is pretty graphic.
If it was really London Real, we would just... take the shorts off.
I guess it would be, man. Now, okay, you cannot get rid of body fat by rubbing or massaging or anything.
Right, that's
However,
just nonsense.
my Rolfer said that you can smooth fat out.
Okay.
You can actually take fat cells, like what they call depot fat, and kind of smooth it, and because you can actually manipulate the connective fascial tissue.
Right.
So it can help.
Okay,
So then
right.
after this, one of two things. Either I just take a cold cloth, like a washcloth or a towel, and I just wash myself off.
Okay.
And then I'll go out and train. Maybe I'll go out and run or do Spider-Man crawls or something.
Okay.
Or skip rope.
Okay.
Or do calisthenics.
Okay.
Or I'll go into the shower and take an ice cold shower. I like cold showers.
Okay.
Now, I don't use the Wim Hof, but I do use the burst breathing. By the way, I'm oil squishing this whole time.
Oh, really? You're squishing the oil while you're doing this? You're squishing the oil?
Yeah, and then
okay.
I'll wipe off with the cold cloth, the damp cloth, and just wash every part of my body. A lot of times I'll shave.
Okay.
That's tick, is making the time go by for the swishing.
Right.
I'll make my bed. The staff wasn't here. I always make my own bed as a ritual.
Okay.
Because I believe a messy, disorganized room and disorganized belongings is a disorganized mind.
Right.
So it's like a little morning ritual.
Okay.
I just straighten everything up even before the hotel staff get here. Make sure everything's put away. Nice. I didn't do it just for you guys. It's just the way I am.
Okay.
Because it gets my mind organized, and by that time the oil is just it's getting pretty close to the 20 minutes.
Did the military teach you a lot of these basics?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
But then it's probably still in your character of Steve Maxwell.
It was just always part of my nature. But even before I always made my own bed. Even as a little kid.
Okay.
My mother had my brother and I. We did stuff.
Right.
We had to help around the house. We made our own beds. We washed the dishes.
Right.
She took care of clothes, but we did a lot of stuff around the house. Mowed the lawn.
It's a great way to start the day, right?
I think it's good for kids to have these responsibilities and learn how to be responsible for themselves. We had pets, so we were responsible for cleaning their cages and taking care of the animals. So
look at me, I can't stop scrubbing. I love this.
Doesn't it feel great?
Feels great.
It's very stimulating.
Feels
and
great.
It does keep so you do get like old dead skin cells and things.
Right. So
some of it's microscopic. It's not even visible to the naked eye.
Okay.
And so, like I said, you take a washcloth and then you just wash off really, really well.
Okay.
Cold cloth and just I like to vigorously. And then I wanted to show you the towel routine that a Russian sauna master showed me. I'll pull it out here.
Bring the towel out?
Yeah, I'll bring the towel out. So after the during the cold shower, I'm very big in affirmations.
Yeah, me too.
And I think that you can kind of mold your body with your mind. Yeah. And I'll rub myself in the freezing cold water, and I'll say things like vice grip. Like old Dan Hodge. Do you remember the famous wrestler?
Yeah.
Danny Hodge, vice grip.
Right. Well,
he could break a pair of pliers with his hands.
Okay, really?
He was like a Doug Bluebaw.
What are these like American? These
these are old school wrestlers. No, these are early American, American folk style wrestlers. Popeye forearms, while you're rubbing. Baseball biceps.
All right.
Horseshoe triceps.
So you're affirming back to your muscles.
Coconut deltoids, gladiator pecs, super 8-pack, Bruce Lee definition, wrestler neck, man array lats, great God hips and thighs.
Great God hips and thighs.
You make funny little affirmations.
Okay, that's good.
It sounds
for
a little
your body.
strange,
no,
but
cool.
as you get to my age, you start to rapidly lose that muscle mass. And then a Russian sauna master showed me how to use the towel. So after the cold shower. And by the way, if you don't have time to do the dry brush and all this, you can just take the shower and then your normal shower, then turn the water ice cold, and then just finish the last 30 seconds to a minute. You don't have to stand there like Wim Hof or anything. You just, just get a good taper and then come out of there. And then you start to really work the neck and the head vigorously back and forth and the shoulders. And then you work your torso this way and work the torso this way. And then work the torso this way. And then you work it across almost like you're shining shoes, from the front. Okay. Really vigorously working towards your heart. And it should be a really coarse towel, not soft like this hotel towel.
Okay, all right.
And then you get the towel between your legs and you start to vigorously give yourself almost like a shoe shine guy.
Yeah, okay.
And then so it's another way of keeping the skin useful.
And you do this on top of the brush or instead
I'll do this
of the brush?
on top of the brush,
but
if I'm short in time, maybe I'll just do this.
Okay.
Feet and the whole thing.
Okay. Okay.
And then, wow, you're ready, man.
Okay, yeah, you're just pumped up.
You're ready for an episode of London Real.
Right? And why the cold shower?
I just like the vigorousness of it's very stimulating to the skin. It brings the cold water therapies have been used forever.
Right.
You don't have to be a masochist about it and stay in there for like 20, 30 minutes. We're not trying to be the ice man.
Right. Okay.
You know?
Right.
And I make sure I don't panic breathe.
Okay.
I will use the burst breathing.
Okay. You're going to teach me some breathing later.
Oh, diaphragmatic.
Okay.
No lungs. No, holding your breath and all that. Just very similar to Hicks and Gracie breathing. Yeah. So in. So. But I keep and it keeps you calm. And sometimes and you just relax, and it's amazing. You know, the cold water doesn't feel all that cold. But, you know, just a minute, 90 seconds, it's enough.
Okay.
You get it. But I do like to rub myself, too.
And how does this routine finish? Are you then done now?
Yeah, I'm done.
You're done with the physical body maintenance
I'm done with
routine.
the physical body maintenance.
Okay.
Sometimes
this whole thing would have taken you 30 some minutes, maybe 40 minutes for you.
For me. And then I'll have a water.
Okay.
And a cup of coffee or two. I like my coffee.
Okay.
You know, there's nothing wrong with a little coffee as long as you don't abuse it.
Right.
You know? And I'll work on my iPad for a few minutes, and then like clockwork, right at 9 o'clock, but boom, I'm out the door, and I'll walk, do breathing work, or train.
Okay.
Depends on what is going on with the body and my recovery.
Okay.
Then I'll come back and I'll have my breakfast.
Okay.
And I don't eat my breakfast until usually pretty late in the day.
Like noon or?
Somewhere between 10 and noon, depending on what time I get up. If I get up at 4, it's going to be different than if I get up at 6.
Okay.
So, you know, I try to push it back.
Okay.
I hate to use the term intermittent fasting, but it basically is an Ayurvedic principle where you don't load a body with a lot of, with a digestive burden, having a big breakfast.
Yeah.
Your body is very busy getting rid of metabolic waste from the day before. So you don't want to load it with this big digestive burden of a heavy breakfast.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'll usually eat pretty light.
Okay.
You know, usually, you know, it just depends what I've done. If I worked out, I'll have a protein-based meal.
Okay.
If I didn't work out, maybe I'll have a starch-based meal.
Okay.
You know?
All right, and so...
And sometimes I'll have 3 meals a day. A lot of times I only have 2. Right now I'm on the 2-meal-a-day plan here in London. Okay. So I had a little something before you guys came.
Okay.
And after you guys leave, I'll probably have like a protein meal, probably chicken or something. Okay. Oh, actually, she already has it for me. I have actually eggs. I'm going to have eggs in a salad.
Okay, nice. All right. So now you're going to show me.
Now it's time to work out.
To work out. Yeah. All right. So we would have done this whole thing. We would have dry brushed, and then we would have worked out as opposed to go to the shower.
Well, I would have taken a little time, a little coffee, you know. I mean, I'm just showing the morning routine. It's a little out of order.
Oh, good.
You know.
That's good.
Sometimes, like, if I'm really hard pressed for time, I may train and then do the stuff afterwards.
Okay, gotcha.
There's nothing carved in stone. It just, you know, I have my schedule because once again, I'm not working for the man anymore.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, that's good.
I can work and you too. You work for yourself. You set your own schedule.
Yeah, we still have a schedule, but that's true.
I mean, I still have my schedule, but it's pretty open.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So
all right. So
let's get
a trend. Do I get to put my clothes back on?
Yeah, you get to your clothes back.
Okay.
Continue watching this fascinating conversation for free by clicking on the link below to visit our website, and I'll see you on the inside.
Real smooth turnaround. Remember, we don't care about how many reps. We just want to make those muscles tired. Right on back down. As you begin to fail, you're going to start to panic. I want you to really control your breathing. There you go. That's it. Right about here, because we don't want to unload. We want our muscles to give out. It's a whole different reason for training. Whole different goal. The goal here is momentary muscle fatigue. Easy, 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 easy. Stay there, stay there, stay there, stay there. Push as hard as you can for 5, 4, 3, 2, and unload. Nice job.